So after rummaging around in my wood supply, I found this board that is about 11 inches wide, it's 3/4 inch thick, and it's about 72 inches long. So that'll, if I cut it in half, that'll give me pretty much the 36 inches of height that I'm looking to kind of maximize the space that I have. And then found this plywood, also 3/4 inch thick and 8 foot tall. And so I could do 10 foot or 10 inch strips, 3 10-inch strips that would be 8 foot long. You could divide those into 4. I don't need that many shelves, but it's nice to know that I could do it if I wanted, especially if I make a mistake and need to find some additional shelving material. Not that I would make a mistake. All right, the first thing I want to do on this board is square off the edge so that I got a nice clean edge that I'm working with. I'll do that on both sides, and then I'll cut it down the middle. So I was just about to hook up the vacuum, the shop vac, to the dust port on my table saw. And then I remembered that I just set up new dust collection system. So it's got its own dedicated vacuum on a switch. So I don't have to be setting it up and switching it out all the time between various tools. So let's see how well it works. Similarly to what I did on the vertical supports, I want to square off the ends of the shelves, the horizontal supports, and then cut it in half. Hopefully this time I can actually find the halfway mark instead of not halfway like the last one. I have to set up the dust collection on this guy because I haven't done the mobile cart yet for the miter saw. That might be coming up though. We'll see. Want to make sure that I'm cutting both square together. That's why I keep testing on the back end to make sure that they're flush with each other. Measure from both sides, and if I'm in the middle, then it should be the same measurement from either side. Let's see how close that is. If anyone knows what kind of wood this is, let me know in the comments. So I'm curious. I've got some more of it after I'm done using this board. So I wouldn't mind knowing what it is exactly. So I'm just going to cut off 1-inch strips, and that should be enough. Broke it or not. Great. I can probably glue that back together and still use it. I think that's what I'll do. Just using Type Bond Original here, because this shoe bench, or shoe rack, rather, not even a bench, is intended to be used indoors. Shouldn't be subject to any water. So this should be sufficient. Good glue coverage on both sides. All right, so I think I'm ready to glue some of these strips onto the front of these shelves. I've only got 4 of this size of clamp. Like, they're probably not the best clamps to use for this, but they're easy, and so that's what I'm going to do. But I've only got 4 of these guys, and so I think I'm only going to do 1 shelf at a time. Longer process than I'd like, but whatever. Really feel like I should have a little bit more clamping in here. Forgot that I had these clamps. Bought them from a guy recently off of Marketplace or Craigslist. I don't remember which. That should be enough clamping. So let that set for at least half an hour and then move on to the next one. All right, so I am now cutting the dados on the vertical supports. I have marked them out. I've got a sacrificial fence attached to my auxiliary fence because I want to do this rabbet right on the end. And so hopefully it works pretty well. We'll find out. Test it out. A little test fit here. Actually better than I was expecting. That should work. I'm going to try to trim these all at once. I was initially thinking to trim those off with a router bit, but I'm worried that a router bit would just tear them out. All right, so this is the dry fit. I'm a little concerned about racking, so I'm thinking I might pull this off and just do a rabbet, an 1/8 of an inch rabbet all the way down. So then I can put in a piece of plywood in the back and just make sure that this thing doesn't, rack one way or the other. All right, my next step is to cut the rabbet in the back of the vertical supports. So I'm just going to go for an 1/8 of an inch, which is the width of the blade. And my wife is over here making faces at me. So It's her birthday, so I'm indulging her. I've acquired some additional type bond original